Last time on Trawlermen, the fishing vessels Amity and Ocean Venture battled with a force 9 gale. Now Amity's skipper Jimmy Buchan must decide how much longer he dares keep his crew at sea.
We're the only boat left down here. All the other boats are gone home. They've got SIDS.
On Ocean Venture, as John Buchan tries to free his net from the seabed, a vital chain breaks. A 170 miles from home, the Ocean Venture is caught in a storm. Having caught little fish so far, skipper John Buchan has decided to continue fishing despite the weather.
We've 9 of a crew to pay. If we don't catch any fish, they don't get no money, they don't get paid.
Once again, the catch is poor. For John, the big problem is the wear on the nets.
Where we're working just now at the moment is very, very bad in the gear. A set of chains, which cost about 1,600 pounds. They get worn away at 3 trips out here. Just, the bottom is very abrasive, it's like sandpaper. There's a lot of stress in this job.
The work done, for now at least. The crew go below to get some sleep.
There are warnings of gales in Viking, north at Serra, Forties, Cromarty, Forth at Shannon, Rockall, Balin, Hebrides, Bailey, Fair Isle, Faroes and South.
20 minutes later, the boat shudders to a halt. Her nets have snagged on the seabed 100 meters below. Dragging along the ocean floor, they've caught on a massive rock. With the boat unable to move, one big wave could send her to the bottom. First mate Barry Lauder must lead the crew onto the deck to try and free the net.
And it's bad enough being fast as it is, but it's a force 9 gale out there just now, so it's pretty dangerous.
From the wheelhouse, there's little John can do to help his crew.
Take it up, you could break a chain, they could take a roll, big lump of water, wash them off their feet, so you have to be very vigilant all the time, keep your eyes on them.
Try and get this net aboard as quick as we can.
Without warning, the obstruction gives way. As the crew haul the net aboard, the dangerous situation gets suddenly worse. A chain has broken under the strain.
We have to come all lengths of it, Jonathan.
The rocky seabed has worn through the hardened steel.
When the chain snaps, we'll lose the other side. The other side snaps, we're going to lose the whole net.
The whole net is now held on only 1-inch thick warp. If it breaks, they'll lose over £30,000 worth of equipment. On the Amity, Jimmy Buchan has steamed through the night to find better fishing grounds. The journey through the storm has taken its toll.
The boat's falling apart. Look at. She took a big lump of water last night on the port side, and she just whipped that light clean off her.
Jimmy's first mate, Kevin O'Donnell, is up before dawn after a sleepless night.
Very rough passage last night coming up from Blythe. So the boys didn't get a good sleep last night coming up. Keep it up with it.
She was holding up. Wait, did you?
That's what you're doing. You nearly took the hand off me. Wait.
Jimmy's decided to try his luck at a place called the Ooze Hole. According to his weather forecast, he only has 24 hours before the area is hit by a massive storm.
This is my last throw of the dice. You don't want to get caught out here. There's 50, 60 mile an hour winds to come through this area. this time tomorrow.
On the Ocean Venture, John's nets are hanging on a single warp.
The other side goes, you will lose your gear, you'll drop your net. But you're always concerned if that happens, that the chains might go off and hit some of the crew. That's the main worry. We can always get plenty more gear, but we don't want to injure the crew.
Even when they've got it on board, John fears the loose net could drag the crew into the sea.
We're looking wet. Come over the net. Upset them. The white halls are doing looking wet. What?
The broken end of the chain is still dragging in the water behind. Two deckhands are unable to pull it back on board. In the end, it's Barry who thinks up a way of heaving it in. And Tucker repairs damage to the net.
Come on, Tucker. We're just waiting for Tucker to splice this new bag onto the bag. It's taking forever. Got enough coming fast in a flat candy, let alone a force 9.
The skipper took a chance fishing in the storm. This time, he's got away with it.
Come on, do.
On the Amity, Jimmy's preparing to cast his net in a deep underwater ravine.
We're in this area here, we're here, and there's a long hole, trink. And this one today we're in is called the Ooze Hole.
The Ooze Hole is 18 miles long and over 200 meters deep. There's a good chance of finding prawns, but the jagged contours make the Ooze Hole a hard place to fish. Jimmy's used a computer to create a detailed map of the hole.
This piece at the top would be the boat. This is us. And this red line denotes where we are relative to the top of the water. I know that my gear is in this area here somewhere, because the gear is behind me. It's casting a shadow on the seabed, which gives me a direction of where I'm pointing on the seabed, and then I've got to work out where my gear would be approximately behind me.
Jimmy will tow the net along the edge of the ravine for 5 hours. If he gets it right, there should be a big catch of prawns to show for it. If he gets it wrong, he could lose his nets. The Ocean Venture has been at sea for a week. Fishing's been disappointing, and John's worried about the morale of his crew. After a long night of interruptions, they're now ready to haul in the nets.
It's absolutely diabolical, eh? Pathetic. Two over 5.5 holes for that. Something wrong. There's no fish.
Not even enough to feed a family there. Very poor haul. Things just aren't going our way just now. It's hard to be optimistic when there's just the size of hauls coming on board. Something's going to have to happen quick style.
Deckhand Jonathan Cordoner's been at sea since he was a boy.
There's a lot of half-price coalie here.
Jonathan's not impressed with this haul. He's starting to wonder about the skipper's plans.
John's next brainwave, nobody knows. Always expect the unexpected with John.
Upstairs in the wheelhouse, John is feeling the pressure. He needs to get results fast, and when it comes to finding fish, the skipper is on his own.
Everything goes through your mind, that where to go and what to do. Fish come and go, and you just never know. You think you know, but you'll never ever know. A wee bit smarter than us, I think.
In his battle of wits with the fish, John has a secret weapon. Diaries of fishing trips, stretching back 27 years.
Usually this time of year, we're finding fish everywhere. Usually the first time of the year, there's usually fish everywhere because the grounds have been well rested. Where have they gone? This time last year, this is the 7th of January last year, with 174 boxes for the day for 4 holes. 45 boxes, a 32 boxes, a 15 boxes, and an 82 boxes. Mostly good. But it's good fishing.
Catching some valuable cod could still make this trip a success. According to John's notes, they may have moved to deeper water.
Shifted into deeper water or not, I think we'll have to have a look in deeper water and see if they're there. We'll just have to shift the grounds again, try somewhere else. This is Peterhead, the northeasterly point in Scotland. We steam down to the barrel field, just south of the barrel field in this area, the 150 miles. So I think we'll head east, I think, about 50 miles west of the coast of Norway, to see if we can find some cod or haddock.
Down below, Jonathan's coming round to the skipper's new plan.
Want to get some cod? Big juicy cod.
On the Amity, Jimmy and his crew are hauling the net for the first time in the ooze hole.
Come on, the prawns!
Jimmy is about to find out if the long journey north was worth it.
Now the skipper's smiling!
You happy, Jimmy? He's ended up making the right decision for a change. It's not too often he gets it right, but he got it right this time.
See, you'd no faith in me last night. Oh, hey, come on!
That's
Keeping
what
the
it's
best
all
ones up his sleeve.
That's what it's all about. Look at that. Look at that.
That is an absolute beaut.
The problem we have now is we know there's a storm coming. We're 120 miles from home, and we know there's fish on the grounds. So what do we do next?
The Ocean Venture's steaming to Norway. The weather's improved, but the morale of the crew is low. Jonathan's first job of the day is to count the boxes of fish they've caught so far.
150 aboard. 850 to catch yet.
Better pull our socks up. Don't pull our socks up, we'll be selling our socks. Never mind, at least it's breakfast time.
The captain and crew may share a breakfast table, but their feelings about the job are very different.
Only time will tell.
As a deckhand, Jonathan still hasn't earned any money after a week at sea.
Fish has been very poor, really. So we're just trying to mend some holes in the bag, just in case that we're losing any fish. It's not good going home if you haven't made any money, but it's always good to get home, no matter what. I've had my wife and I've a daughter at home. I miss them. Miss them like a lot when I'm out here. Often wondered if I could maybe work on shore, but left school without any qualifications, and so I suppose I'll just have to be a fisherman.
Michael Cowie, the cook, has sailed on the Ocean Venture for 18 years.
I would love to get out of this job if I could, but it's got a strange pull. I absolutely hate this job at times. You still come back and going through it all again. Once you've been your trip off, you forget about it and you're ready to do it again. So I never really thought I'd be at the job this long.
But for John, fishing is more than just a job. It's a way of life, handed down through generations.
My father was a fisherman, my uncle was a fisherman, I have a heap of cousins fishermen, and my grandfather was fisherman, my great-grandfather was fisherman, so it's salt water in the veins and not blood. And
you can't get much more experience than John, really. He's been at it all his life, so he's been brought up in it. I haven't. They say fishermen is men that go to sea, and he's a fisherman. I'm just a man that goes to sea.
When they get to Norway, the crew will find out if John's finally found the right spot. At the ooze hole, Amity's enjoying a run of good luck. However many prawns Jimmy catches, he still has to sell them. How much he makes in the market all depends on prices in Europe.
The bit that disappoints me is all this, all goes to the European market. And no one eats them in the UK. Well, very little. But when people go on holiday to Spain and Italy and whatever, and they go to a nice restaurant and they order langoustine, what they don't know is that probably they were caught in the Scottish waters by Scottish fishermen. They're a luxury food. They are expensive. It's not unlike into a lobster, the texture and the quality, if it's cooked properly. I eat quite a lot of them.
You think we're fed up tailing prawns, and look what's in front of us. Prawns again. Go to bed, think about prawns. Wake up, go to work, prawns, prawns, prawns. It's good though, isn't it?
In spite of his fear of the weather, the good catches have tempted Jimmy to stay at sea a bit longer. As the storm closes in, Kevin's starting to question Jimmy's decision.
Just a few nice ones just to get a start. So we'll go and have another tow and see how we get on.
Things changes when he sees money in the hopper.
It's the one thing the skipper's got to have. He's got to have the drive, because he's the guy that's responsible for catching the fish to make enough money to pay the crews.
For Jimmy to pay the crew, he will have to keep them working through the storm.
It's a right poor day now, like. It's fairly poor now, like. It must be 4-7 there now. It's kind of choppy. But I think it's getting worse out here. We're the only boat left down here. All the other boats are gone home. They've got SIDS. We're not right in the head. Or else he's not right in the head.
The Ocean Ventures arrived in deep water off the coast of Norway. After almost a week of poor fishing, John's desperate for a good haul to make the trip worthwhile. The crew's spirits are low, and he's hoping he's tracked down some premium cod.
There's a few nice cod in there. I don't know if yet, but we're searching. We're getting close. Some big cod there, big ones. Good fish, cod and monkfish. Really good fish. The boys will be rubbing their hands just now. We can only hit the spot.
A haul like this can be worth hundreds of pounds to each member of the crew. John's finally found the right place to fish.
We're improving, so we'll go and see if we can get some more before it's dark.
This is what we're wanting. Nice cod, big haddock.
Monkfish are even more expensive than cod.
Very ugly, but nice to eat. We're all happy. We could all stand and gut these things all day long. It wouldn't bother us. Right, nice cod. Beautiful fish.
You see everybody's smiling now. Makes a change.
Pound signs. Rolling in our eyes. We just have to find more now. That'll make us even happier. That's a biggie, eh? That baby, eh? Beautiful. Even men who've been to sea for maybe 40 years, they got a haddock cod, they're absolutely delighted. Never get fed up seeing cod.
That night, John tries another haul in the same place.
Oh yeah, they're there. Woo! All the coddies, boys! All the coddies! The way I do it!
Well, I'm that cod. Brilliant. And there's more. Ah, well, I'm that cod, boys. Oh, yeah, beauty. You beauty. You will find them sometime. And you know over there. Here you go, look, that's the proof. Oh, about 70, 80 boxes. 80 boxes, mostly cod. Brilliant haul. Who wants cod and chips?
Oh, it feels brilliant. We're out here to make money. And that's, when you see fish like this, you know you're making it. So it keeps the excitement going when you do finally see a good haul.
With these two hauls, they've caught as much as the rest of the trip put together. John's ready to call it a day.
We go home. We've had enough. We're going home. I think everybody's smiling now. We're going home.
We're going home, Johnny boy.
It's the business, is it?
"90 miles from Peterhead on the Amity, Jimmy's hoping he'll get his fish to the market in time.
I've decided to haul early because I've got 90 miles to run in. "90 miles at 5 knots. It's going to be a long journey in. Probably got to be about 4 straight all the way. So I should probably only be making about 5 or 6 knots.
Finito! Trip finished!
The Ocean Ventures trip may have been saved by the last 2 hauls of cod, but how much the crew get paid now depends on the market. Most of the fleet have come in to avoid the storm, and there's a lot of fish for sale. It could drive the prices down. As John unloads his fish for the next morning's market, Amity is racing for the shore.
I've maybe left it a wee bit late, but I'm pushing the boat Amity full speed tonight to try and catch the market for tomorrow.
If he misses the market, his fish will be another day older and prices will drop.
I've 78 boxes of whitings, projecting £50 per box, which is going to project a figure of 3,900. I've got my prawns at the bottom. The tails are at £125 and the big ones at £150 per box. So my total gross on this spreadsheet is around just under £18,000.
The costs of running the boat have to be paid first, but if Jimmy's right about the prices, this trip could make well over £1,000 for each man on board. But only if he gets to the market in time. With the Amity still out at sea, John's waiting for the Ocean Venture's catch to be auctioned. The market is already almost full, but with bad weather forecasts keeping many fishermen in the harbour for the coming week, John hopes buyers will be stocking up.
We'll soon know, the market's not far away, so we'll soon know. Or fit. If it was worth going through the bad weather,
As Jimmy arrives, the auction has already started. He still has to unload his catch.
We're going flat out.
Just grab me the weight for it.
We've got 5 minutes, so we've got quite a lot of work to do.
A bit late for that.
The crew work faster when I cut, it's fine. If they know they've plenty of time, they'll dilly-dally.
The price of fish in the market depends on how fresh it is. Every day counts.
Fish is going to be another day older if we don't get this market. Yeah. I can hear them shouting. They're going. They're getting closer. Do you hear them shouting?
At the other end of the market, John's cod is about to be auctioned.
well, for these sizes, I would look for about £90, I would think. But I guess. But I'm just selling them. I'm not buying them.
The bidding starts at £80.
Maybe as much as you want. 84, 2, 4, 6, 8, 90, 2, 4, 96, 8, 100, 2, 4, 6, 108, 10, 110, 110.
That's such a big price. I didn't expect that much. £110 per box.
With almost 200 boxes on sale, John's cod alone have grossed £18,000. Jimmy has managed to get to the market, and the prices are still good, especially for the prawns.
We've got a really big return there. So I was predicting I was going to make about 18,000 and we've made just under 20.
And Jimmy's wife Irene arrives to give him a lift home.
Hi dear.
Hello, how you doing?
How are you? Good taste of lipstick.
Bye bye, Amity.
Next time on Trawlermen. In the hunt for haddock, trawlers risk collision on treacherous seas. With a storm brewing, will skipper Sandy Watt go for glory or race for home?